What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be continuing our shop items and our shop in general, and the first thing that I just want to do is I'm going to create a quick placeholder for our shop. So I'm going to create like a mesh, just a placeholder mesh that we can interact with, and it's going to basically show us our shop menu. So in the game that we're thinking, the shop is going to be like dropped from the air or something like that, and then it's going to fall into the ground around the area of the players, and then they're going to be able to go and buy their stuff. Or we're going to have them placed in multiple places of the map, and then we're going to enable the shop that is closest to the majority of players. That way the players don't have to run off across the map to get to the store if we like do a random generation. But I'm not going to take care of that now. I'm just going to do the basic blueprint of the shop. So I'm going to go into third-person BP blueprints, and I'm going to go into, I guess it's going to be, it's not really environment. I'm going to create a new folder for our shop, and I'm going to be creating a new blueprint class actor, and I'm going to call this shop BP. And I'm going to double click that open. I'm going to close our medic kit. I'm going to leave this stuff open because we may need it. The first thing that I'm going to do over in the shop BP is going to its class defaults and set it to be replicated and always relevant. That way it's always going to be correctly replicated in the game. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to find a static mesh. This is going to be the shop mesh. Then the guy on my group that is going to be doing the mesh is probably going to do the design for this mesh, or some that we find in one of the asset packs that we may have. For now I'm just going to use over here a random cube or something like that. I'm going to use a shaped cube. I'm going to compile and save. Let me just drag these into the map, and this is going to be our store. And the first thing I'm going to do over here, I'm going to drag a collision. This is going to be a box collision, and I'm actually going to make this the root, and then I'm going to increase this to 128 by 128 by 128. And whoever is colliding with this mesh is going to be able to, colliding with this collision, is going to be able to interact with the store. And let's first put in our events over here. So on begin overlap and on an overlap. And the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go into the player character, and I'm going to create a new variable that is going to be called can interact. It's going to be default false, and because this is going to be to interact with a widget that is going to happen in the client, I'm going to leave this boolean not to be replicated, because we do not need to, for the fact that no one needs to know that you are using a widget, because that's on the client side, so we save a little bit of data on the network. But we're going to need this blueprint to be on false by default, sorry. And then we're going to switch its values over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is the other actor, when we begin overlap, I'm going to cast to player character, and I'm going to set can interact to be true. And I'm not going to be creating those custom events. I probably will just for consistency, but we actually don't need to, because it's going to happen in the client. I'm just going to delete all this stuff, and I'm going to be creating a new custom event called client interact, or I'm going to call it toggle interact, and I'm going to drag this up over here. Create a target. This is going to be the player car, and this is going to be the value that we want, and can interact. So over here we're just going to replicate this on the client first, and do client. Well, actually it's gonna work, but I was dragging from the player character. I want to drag from our own blueprint and call that client toggle interact. That's gonna be cool. Then we're gonna plug in our player character, and our can interact is going to be true. Now let's just duplicate this over here and connect this up. And I'm stupid because now I'm just realizing I know that why I was dragging from the player car. This event needs to be on the player character. So let me just go into this event, quickly delete where is it? Delete the player character input. So that's weird. Okay. And I'm just going to Control C and delete this. And I'm going to go into the player character, find a new empty space, and I'm just going to drop that in. Excuse me. And I'm going to set this to true over here. Then that way is going to be fine. Actually, not true. I'm going to connect the things. On the shop blueprint, now we can interact, or client toggle interact, and we set it to true. Just delete the old blueprint. And over here, connect this to the target and say it's false. There you go. And that's going to be cool enough. Now we're going to go into our player character and we're going to need to do another logic. Now we're going to take care of the logic of actually toggling the shop menu. And I guess we can just create an event for it. So I'm going to do a custom event. I'm going to call it client underscore open shop menu. And I'm going to do that on the client. Again, widgets only on the client. And the first thing that we're going to check on the branch is, well, can we actually interact with the shop? So then we're going to get that value that we set with that overlap. And if it's true, now we're going to proceed to create a widget. The widget is going to be the shop menu. Down in player, we can get the player controller because it's the local player controller. So we can drag from the player index 0. I'm going to promote this to a variable and call it widget blueprint shop menu. Then we add the viewport. And then we set the input mode for game and UI. The play controller, let's get our play controller from over here. The widget is going to be the shop menu. And I'm not going to lock, and I'm not going to add a cursor. And then we just need one last thing, which is set the mouse, or set show mouse cursor. There you go. To show the mouse on the screen. And remember to drag that from the player controller. There you go. Now we need to take care of the false. So the false is going to be basically, and I'm going to rename this event. I'm going to call it toggle shop menu. It's going to be based on this can interact, and if the can interact is false, you're just going to go into the shop menu. You're going to check if it's valid. And if it is valid, we're going to remove it from the parent, basically removing it from the screen. We are going to set that blueprint to be empty again. And then we just need to get our player controller again. And we need to set mouse cursor. where is it? Set show mouse cursor. There you go, to false. And last thing, we're gonna set the input mode for game only, so the game automatically focuses the game window instead of us having to click in game to focus the game window, because if you actually don't put this node in, it's going to be a little bit of a bug where you need to click on the game after the widget disappears, so it focuses on it, and this way it's going to be automatic. And now we have the ability to toggle. Well, I'm just thinking I might have done something wrong. Well, not really wrong, but actually might not need this at all over here. But I'm gonna leave it in, it's okay, because what I'm gonna need to do is, now I'm gonna need to find the key. So we're gonna click a key, then we're gonna toggle the shop menu by it. So I'm gonna go very quickly to the project settings. Then I'm gonna go into the input. I'm just gonna set a new action mapping called interact. Oh, I have that already, so my bad. Let me just remove that, and let me just see the key. It's F, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and in our player character, I'm going to call interact. Interact. When we press it, I'm actually going to do flip-flop. Actually, I don't think I need a flip-flop. Yeah, okay, no, I need. So I'm gonna let the flip-flop, I'm just gonna do client toggle shop menu. Client toggle. I may have done this a little bit too complicated. We might need not to do like all of these checks over here, but no, it's gonna be fine. We might want to call these events on some places where we don't actually have to press the key, so it's going to be fine to know if we are in interact range or something like that. So that it's always good to have those kind of checks in. And then I'm just going to show it, so that's fine. And then if I click it again, I'm going to go into client. Let me see. First of all, I'm going to do toggle interact. I'm going to set it to false, because if I click again on interact, I open the screen, and then if I click again, I'm going to close it. We might want to do this like in the widget, so we click like on a button to close the window. That might be better. So yeah, let me actually delete this. So I'm going to press it, and then I'm going to toggle the shop menu. And I'm only going to do this, let me just put another check in here. So if we try and click F too many times, we're going to be creating like an overload of widgets. So I'm going to do this, the shop menu. If it is valid, we're only going to want to create a new one if this is not valid. If there is no shop menu, we're going to create a new one. If there is, we're not going to do anything. And so doing this, we're going to need a new button over in the shop menu, which I'm going to, I guess, put over here. So I'm going to get a new button. I'm going to call this button B underscore close shop. I'm just going to get a quick text, put it on it, and the text is just going to be an X. And I guess I'm going to do a 10. I'm going to go into the button and add a little bit of a right padding of 50. And so when we want to close the window, we're going to click over here. Let's just quickly do that. Unclicked. We are actually going to go and go into our player character. Let's copy this code over here. Control C, paste that, select this, we're not gonna need that. Actually, now that you talk about it, we do need to do this. Excuse me. We need to do this on the player character. So let me just do this and create a new custom event called client close shop. Again, do that on the owning client. Make it reliable. Plug that in. And when we do this, we're going to close the shop. Now if we go into the shop menu again, let's get our owning player on. Let's cast to our player character. Then we will call client or close shop. Oh no, it's paper character. Oh damn it. Player. There you go. It's up here, close shop, there you go. Let's compile and save and take a look. See if it works. So it should. Let's play. So the game is basically loading right now. Now it's not loading. We can approach this. If I click F, this opens. Then I can toggle through and see my medikit that we used last time. If I click X, it's going to disappear. If I click F, it's going to appear again. If I get out and I click F, nothing happens. If I get close again, I click F and everything is over here. So there you go, we got our interaction over here in the store. So that's just something that I wanted to do so we can actually test the shop without having to like appear on the event begin play. This way it's going to be easier to test out. And I think what I need, I don't remember what I said in the last video, but I think the logical step will be to make the shop item work over in the buy. And what we want to do is, we go to the player character. I think I told you that I wanted some slots over here. So I'm going to duplicate these ones, and I'm going to call this melee weapon slot. And let me just create a new category for slots. I'm probably gonna have to, reorder everything that is over here, but right now I'm not gonna do it. I'll do it outside the video. Let me see, sidearm slot and equipment slot. And with these four slots, we're gonna be able to store our weapons in our shop menu. Actually, we're going to be able to store weapons bought from the shop menu on the player character. So now I'm going to go into the shop menu, and I'm actually going to make the logic that we're going to do here on the player character. That's going to be easier. Let me just quickly comment this. So I'm going to create a new comment bubble, and I'm going to call this interact with shop. So I know that this is the stuff that I handle, opening shop menus. Now I'm going to create a new custom event. I'm going to start with the client, underscore, equip, or I guess buy item. And let's see, what inputs do we need? Well, first of all, we're going to need the item information that is going to be coming from our item details. So let me see, this is of the type item details. So let's go into our player character, create a new input, and I'm going to call this item details. And I'm going to go and make this of the type item details. I'm going to need to know the item cost as well. I'm going to go item cost. This is going to be an integer. It's going to be cool as well. And I think that's probably everything we need. So we're going to have the cost. It's actually a float. Okay, let me just change that really quick to a float. Well, let me go over here into the shop item, get the owning player pawn cast to the player character. And let's call that client score by item. And let's plug in the information. Get the item details and get the item cost. Now we have passed through the widget to the player character the information that we need for the item that we want to buy. And what we want now over here in the player character is to work with this information. So first of all, we're going to do the actions that we want to do on the Linux client. And let's see, our player currency is replicated. So first of all, let's create a custom event called server underscore set player currency. By doing this on the server, we're going to be showing every player that on the network that we have changed our player currency. So when we buy an item, we're going to remove its cost from our current currency. So let's just drag this up, set, and drag this input over here. So now this calling this event is how we change this variable. So you can pass it through the server. The first thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to do item cost minus actually it's all the way around. I'm going to go player currency minus the item cost. That's going to give us our set player currency. That's the first thing that we do. Let me just quickly check if this button, there you go. The button is going to be enabled if we have enough money to buy it, and it's going to be currently checking it. So we do not need to over here to check if we do actually do have enough money, so that's going to be fine. So we have set that, so that's going to be it. Now, we need to decide if we want to remove the item from the list or not, because every player is going to be able to buy from that list. I guess we're not going to be touching or removing items from that list. I guess that makes sense. If we actually hide items, it's going to be through an independent function on the widget that is going to work basically, well, if the round on the game is like 10, we're going to show a couple of more weapons, and then when it's 15 round, we're going to show more weapons. So that's going to be independent from the players, so we do not need to worry about that here. So I guess we can just go for it and break the item details. Let me just close this a little bit. Now from this item, we're going to need to make a couple of decisions. First decision is, well, what type of item is this? So I'm going to do a switch on type, and we're going to have these 4 types. And now I actually remembered something, that we do not get a sidearm switch over here. So let me actually go into our weapon types on the blueprints. Because I need a new one that is going to be sidearm. Let me just pass this up, save that, boom, compile this, player character, compile, and now we got that equipment over here, that sidearm. And I guess an important place to compile this is going to be on the master item, because we do get from choose that from the drop down. So that's going to be cool. Compile those blueprints that might be using that switcher, because sometimes it bugs out if you don't compile the blueprints back when you add new stuff. It can give you errors, so just make sure you do it. And now when we got this decision, we're going to be making something. So let's go and create a new custom event. Let's call this server underscore set slot. Actually, I do not want to set the slot itself. I'm going to do a server underscore spawn item. That's what I want. So let's do a run on server because it's gonna actually be a spawn. And let's actually not do this over here. Let's call it server spawn item. And we're gonna need to give it item details now. Because every item is going to have its own representation on the character. So for example, if you have on your slot like a medikit, the medikit is kind of going to be like strapped to your like bag or something like that. The place on your character that is going to be like over here, like excuse me, a medikit like weapon that you can inject yourself, or like if it's a grenade, or weapon is going to be in your back, etc. It's always going to have a 3D representation, so that's why I'm doing this the way that I'm going to spawn the actual item when I assign it to a slot, because it might be easier to work with, and it's going to be better to show it off on 3D so every player knows what you have equipped. So I'm going to be calling this item details. Now I'm going to need to know what we're going to spawn. That is going to be the class that is going to be on the item details. So let's just drag and do a spawn actor from class. I want to spawn the class of the item. And then I'm going to do a switch on the type. Now the spawn transform, we might need to get, we're gonna need to get our mesh over here. So let's add a new parameter. I'm gonna call this, I guess, can be the socket location or the spawn location. And I'm gonna make it a transform. There you go. And I'm going to connect that in. Actually, let me not just pass the location, because then I'm going to need to attach the actors, and for that it's better for us to have the original meshes. So let me just call this the car mesh. Oh, not over here, sorry. The car mesh. Let me see what type this is. It's going to be a skeletal mesh component. Skeletal mesh component reference. Let's connect this. And I'm going to need another one. Actually, I don't need another one. So let's go over into the server. And we're going to need to plug that in. And that's going to be our mesh. And plug that in. There you go. And the item details is going to come from over here. Now we are going to, let me just put this up over here. Go to the car mesh. I'm going to get a socket transform. And this socket transform is going to be the socket name that we have on our item. I'm going to connect that in. So this is very straightforward. Everything that you have and that you set on your shop item, on the blueprint over here, when you put this socket name in, you already know that you're going to be using this over here. So what this allows you is going to make this, instead of having like a switch over here with every item and placing its socket name, we have to put the socket name when you create a new item. So everything is done automatically. We do not need to create individual stuff over here in the code for each item. So that's very cool. The only thing that we need to do individually, it's the weapon types, assignments to the slots over here. But that's going to be fine, I guess. And the thing that I want to do before I assign this is I'm going to need to attach to component that's just going to a nursing component. and the parent is not the one that I want. Let me do an attach the component attached to actor. No, because it's between actors. Is it an attached actor to component? I don't remember. Let me just check which one of these is and I'll get back to you in a minute. Okay guys, I figured it out. It's weird because there are two attached to component. There are two of them. You need to choose the one that has the parent to the same component, not an actual actor. So just drag the target to the return value, connect these ones up, and then the parent is going to be our car mesh, and the socket name is going to be the socket name that we placed again in our item details. Then I think I'm going to keep relative. I'm not sure. And I think we can test out the visual spawning of the items. So just need to make sure over here in the medikit that I have. Oh, someone's messaging me. I need to have a test mesh over here. Excuse me. So I'm going to make it a cube. And I'm going to make it then scale it to 0.1, 0.2, 0.2. Let me just see how that looks. Over here. There you go. That's a little bit too big, but I guess it's going to work. Actually, I have a better idea. Let me just use AM9. I know this isn't the medikit, but it's a mesh that I use for testing. And I can go into our player character and find our mesh. Now I'm just going to check if that thing that I set up over in the skeleton is actually set up, so the equipment socket, and it's actually not. So I do not want the equipment socket to be on the end. So first of all, let me just clear that up. I'm going to want it to be in the left, where is it? Left leg. I'm going to copy, select bone name, into the equipment socket, and paste that in. There you go. Now go. And I'm going to add a preview asset, and now I'm going to use that so I can see better. So I'm going to drag that in, like that. So let's just say that the equipment is going to appear with this rotation. I know it's weird for you to pick up, but remember this is just going to be equipment, is not going to be an actual weapon. I'm just going to leave it here for purposes of seeing it. I'm going to save this. And I guess I can test this out. So I'm going to play. Let's see what happens. It might not work. It normally doesn't do the first time. We're going to equipment. Now I'm going to buy. You can see that the money drops. And the buy button is still available. Now let's close this. And well, we cannot see the weapon. Let's figure out why. Maybe I forgot something. Excuse me. Well, first of all, let me always spawn in our collisions. Try that again. So when you do code like this, you need to spend a little bit of time testing, and it normally never works the first time, but you should like try to test around and see what works and what doesn't.
And
And
normally
it takes
a
a couple of times for us to get things right, but
I
I
don't
don't
really
really
see
see
the
the
weapon,
weapon,
and
and
that's
that's
weird
weird
because
because
it's
it's
not
not
giving me
giving me
any
any
errors.
errors.
You know what?
Now,
So I'm
so I'm
not
not
wasting
wasting
video
video
time. I'm
time, I'm
just going
just
to
going to
pause
pause
and
and
see
see
what's
what's
wrong.
wrong.
Okay, guys. So
Okay,
I
so
got
I
the
got the
problem.
problem.
It's
It's
actually
actually
weird.
weird,
But
but
over
over
here,
here,
I
I
had the
had the
socket
socket
on the
on the
left
left
leg, but
leg,
for
but for
some
some
reason,
reason,
I don't
I
know
don't know
why.
why,
It's a
it's a
bug or
bug or
something like
something like
that.
that,
But I
but I
just
just
changed the
changed the
socket
socket
location
location
to the
to the
left
left
up
up
leg
leg,
because this
because this
bone
bone
doesn't
doesn't
really
really
move
move
much
much
as
as
much
much
as
as
this
this
bone.
bone.
So I
So I
just
just,
excuse
excuse
me,
me,
just
just
moved
moved
to the
to the
left up
left up
leg.
leg.
Then I
Then I
changed
changed
a
a
couple of
couple of
settings over
settings
here.
over here.
I set
I
up
set
the
up the
attach to
attach to
component to
component to
snap the
snap the
target
target
on
on
3 of
three
them.
of them.
I
I
unchecked
unchecked
build
build
simulated
simulated
bodies.
bodies.
And
And
over here
over
on the
here on the
socket
socket
transform, I
transform, I
just
just
set
set
to
to
parent bone
parent bone
space.
space.
Now
Now
another
another
thing,
thing,
it
it
might
might
bug
bug
out
out
the
the
physics.
physics.
You need
You
to
need
make
to
sure
make sure
that
that
this
this
spawn
spawn
actor
actor
or
or
this
this
mesh
mesh
that you're
that you're
using
using
over
over
here
here
doesn't have
doesn't
any
have any
collision,
collision,
or you
or you
disable its
disable its
collision.
collision.
Because if it
Because if
has
it has
collision, it's
collision,
going
it's
to
gonna
be
be
messing up
messing
with
up
the
with the
capture
capsule
component,
component,
and it's
and
going
it's
to
gonna
freak out
freak
the
out the
character.
character.
In my
In my
case, it
case, it
didn't
didn't
have
have
it,
it,
so but now
but
I'm
now
going
I'm
to
gonna
show
show
you.
you.
When I
When
go
I
over
go
here
over
into the
into the
equipment
equipment
and I
and I
buy
buy
it, the
it, the
money
money
goes
goes
down.
down.
Then you
Then
can
you can
actually
actually
see
see
over
over
there
there
that I have
that I
the
have the
M9 over
M9
there.
over there.
It's a
It's a
little bit
little bit
hard to
hard to
see.
see.
You can
You can
see
see
it's
it's
strapped
strapped
right to
right
the
to the
collision,
collision,
and it's
and
over
it's
there
over
in
there
my
in my
leg.
leg.
So
So
just
just
substitute
substitute
that for
that
the
for the
mesh
mesh
that you
that you
want.
want.
See the
See the
preview,
preview,
how it
how it
looks,
looks,
and
and
it's, you know,
you know,
it's
it's
exactly
exactly
like
like
this.
this.
In
In
For
For
now, we
now, we
only
only
have
have
the
the
equipment
equipment
socket
socket
name, but
name,
now
but
if
now
you
if you
create more
create more
sockets
sockets
in the
in the
skeletal
skeletal
mesh,
mesh,
and
and
for the
for the
other
other
types of
type of
weapons,
weapons,
all of them
all of
are
them are
going to
going to
appear over
appear over
there.
there.
So
So
that's going
that's
to be
going to be
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool.
Now what
Now
I'm
what I'm
going to
gonna
do
do
is
is
set
set
our
our
slots.
slots.
So I'm
So
going
I'm
to go
gonna go
set the
set the
primary
primary
slot
slot
for
for
full
full
auto
auto
and
and
semi-auto.
semi-auto.
Set the
Set the
melee
melee
weapon
weapon
if it's
if it's
melee.
melee.
Set the
Set the
sidearm
sidearm
slot
slot
if it's
if
a
it's a
sidearm,
sidearm,
and
and
the
the
equipment
equipment
slot
slot
if it's
if it's
equipment.
equipment.
And what
And
we're
what
going
we're
to
gonna
connect over
connect over
here,
here,
it's
it's
simply
simply
going to
going to
be
be
the
the
spawn
spawn
vector.
vector.
So I'm
So
going
I'm
to
gonna
reroute,
reroute,
add a
add a
route
route
node,
node,
and
and
just
just
connect to
connect
all
to
of
all of
these.
these.
And
And
that's
that's
all the
all the
logic
logic
done.
done.
Now,
Now
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
come
come
up.
up.
I know
I
that
know
I'm
that
gonna
I'm gonna
come up
come
with a
up with a
problem.
problem.
So
So over here,
uh,
uh,
let me
let
just
me
show
just
you.
show you.
If I go
If I
into
go
the
into the
store,
store,
and
and
God damn
God
it,
damn it,
I'm
I'm
really
really
sorry
sorry
about this.
about
I don't
this. I
know
don't know
what's
what's
wrong with
wrong
my
with my
throat
throat
today.
today.
If we go
If we
over
go
here
over
and
here
we
and we
buy a
buy a
medikit,
medikit,
we're
we're
gonna
gonna
be
be
occupying
occupying
that
that
slot.
slot.
But if
But
we
if we
buy
buy
another
another
one,
one,
we're gonna
we're gonna
waste some
waste some
money.
money.
But
But
the
the
other
other
medikit is
medikit
gonna
is
be
gonna be
lost, and
lost
it's
and
gonna
is
be
gonna be
substituted
substituted
by
by
this
this
new
new
one.
one.
So
So
there's a
there's a
couple of things
couple
that
of
I
things that
can
I
do.
can do.
I can
I can
create
create
one
one
more
more
equipment
equipment
slot
slot
to
to
use.
use.
Um,
Um,
and
and
basically, if
basically, if
there's just
there's just
one
one
free
free
slot,
slot,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
be
be
substituting
substituting
it.
it.
So
So
like
like
I have
I
two
have two
slots. I
slots. I
occupy
occupy
one with a
one with a
medikit.
medikit.
But if
But
I
if
have a
I have a
second
second
equipment
equipment
slot and
slot
it's
and it's
empty,
empty, I mean,
when I
when I
buy a
buy a
second
second
medikit, it's
medikit,
gonna
it's
go
gonna
to
go
that
to that
medikit.
medikit.
I
I
didn't
didn't
really
really
want to
want
do
to do
that
that
because I
because I
want the
want the
players to
players
have
to have
limited
limited
um, things to
things to
use. It's
use. It's
supposed to be
supposed
a
to be a
difficult
difficult
game.
game.
So I think
So I
I'm
think
just
I'm
gonna
just
leave
gonna
it
leave
at
it at
1.
one.
And
And
um, I
I
might
might
show over
show
here.
over
I'm
here. I'm
gonna
gonna
try and
try and
create a
create a
place over
place
here in the
over in the
store
store
where I can
where I
show
can show
what the
what the
player has
player has
equipped.
equipped.
And
And
then
then
if you
if you
buy,
buy,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
prompt you.
prompt you.
Well,
Well,
if you
if you
buy
buy
this, you're
this,
gonna
you're gonna
substitute your
substitute your
currently
currently
equipped
equipped
item.
item. or whatever
it is
it
the
is the
slot.
slot.
And I
And
think
I
I'm
think
going
I'm
to do
going to
that
do that
just
just
for,
for
having
having
it
it
there.
there.
I may
I
do
may do
that
that
later
later
because I
because
want
I
to
want to
make
make
the
the
primary
primary
components
components
first,
first,
and then
and then
I'll
I'll
set up
set up
these
these
little
little
details
details
that are
that are
more
more
in
in
kind of
kind of
game
game
designish
designish
rather
rather
than
than
making the
making the
game
game
work.
work.
But I
But
can
I
just
can
show
just show
you,
you,
if you
if you
cannot buy
cannot
an
buy an
item,
item,
you
you
cannot buy
cannot buy
it,
it,
and
and
you have
you
no
have no
money,
money,
and you
and
can
you can
close,
close,
and
and
get
get
back
back
in,
in,
Zero
Zero
money,
money,
doesn't let
doesn't
you
let
buy.
you buy.
Over here
Over
you
here you
got
got
the
the
settings
settings
we
we
set up
set
in the
up in the
last
last
video.
video.
And I
And I
think
think
it's
it's
gonna be
gonna be
for
for
minutes
minutes
of
of
the
the
video, so
video,
that's
so
gonna
that's gonna
take a
take a
long
long
time to
time to
upload.
upload.
And I
And I
still don't
still
have
don't have
fiber. I'm
fiber. I'm
supposed to
supposed
have
to have
fiber
fiber
internet
internet
next
next
week.
week.
And I don't
And
know
I
if
don't know
I'm
if I'm
gonna
gonna
ever
ever
stream. I
stream.
don't
I don't
really
really
know. I
know. I've
never
never
done it,
done it,
so
so
I
I
might
might
try
try
it.
it.
So
So
that will
that
be
will be
cool.
cool.
So
So
it's
it's
easier for
easier for
me
me
just to
just to
stream
stream
when the
when the
internet is
internet
good,
is
so I
good,
don't
so I
have
don't
to
have to
upload it
upload it
again.
again.
And then
And
it
then
gives
it
me
gives
an
me an
excuse to
excuse
make
to
the
make the
videos
videos
longer and
longer and
stuff.
stuff.
Because right
Because
now
right now
I
I
cannot
cannot
keep
keep
working on the
working on the
same
same
video
video
because
because
yeah,
yeah,
to upload
to
is
upload
gonna
is
be a
gonna be a
nightmare.
nightmare.
And
And
hopefully I'm
hopefully
gonna
I'm gonna
start
start
streaming when
streaming
I
when I
have
have
better
better
internet.
internet.
For now,
For
that's
now,
gonna
that's
be
gonna be
it.
it.
Because it's
Because
still
it's
the
still the
same
same
shitty
shitty
internet
internet
as I
as I
always
always
have.
have.
And in
And
the
in the
next
next
video,
video,
I
I
think
think
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
be
be
I'm gonna
I'm
try
gonna try
and
and
bring
bring
some
some
meshes
meshes
to
to
be a
be a
weapon,
weapon,
and then
and then
start
start
creating
creating
the
the
ability to
ability to
use the
use the
slots
slots
that we
that we
just
just
created
created
over
over
here
here
in the
in the
character.
character.
So I'm
So
gonna
I'm
try
gonna
and
try and
bring some
bring some
meshes
meshes
for each
for
one
each
of
one of
these,
these,
and I'm
and
gonna
I'm
be
gonna be
able
able
to
to
equip the
equip the
slots.
slots.
And I
And
think
I
that's
think
gonna
that's
be
gonna
what
be
I'm
what
gonna
I'm
be
gonna
making
be
in the
making in
next
the
video.
next
I don't
video.
know
I don't
when
know
I'm
when
gonna
I'm
be
gonna be
uploading
uploading
it.
it.
Hopefully
Hopefully
soon,
soon,
because I
because I
need
need
to
to
continue
continue
working. I
working.
don't
I
have
don't have
much
much
time.
time.
So yeah,
So yeah,
as
as
always, thank
always,
you guys
thank
so
you guys
much
so
for
much for
watching.
watching.
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
leave the
leave the
Discord
Discord
server
server
if you
if
need
you
me
need me
for a
for a
job or
job or
something,
something,
or
or
for any
for any
doubts that
doubts
you
that
have.
you
You
have. You
can
can
join the
join the
server.
server.
Thank you guys
Thank
so
you guys
much
so
for
much for
watching, and I'll
watching,
see
and
you
I'll
all
see
in
you
the
all in
next
the
one.
next
Bye
one.
bye.
Bye bye.